Well, welcome back to my channel. Before we get started, I'd like to say this is I'm not a professional stock advisor. Please do your own research. This is just for educational purposes only and entertainment. So do your own due diligence and study your own stocks. Today we'll be talking about my Vanguard VTI, which is my main stock holding. I own other stocks. I own a FedEx stock, which I've owned for many years. But currently, my main investment is a Vanguard VTI, which is the total U.S. stock market. It has over 3,600 stocks in there. So every stock that's traded in the U.S. stock market is in this fund. So it's got the Apples, the Teslas, the Amazons. Every stock that's in the U.S. stock market is in here, such as the top 10 holdings in this fund is Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, and for those of you who don't know what Alphabet is Google. Alphabet is the parent company of Google. So if you hear the term Alphabet, it refers to Google. It's got Facebook, it's got Berkshire Hathaway, and for those of you who don't know what Berkshire Hathaway is, that's the company of Warren Buffett, the world's greatest stock picker, him and his partner Munger. So Berkshire Hathaway is, that's his baby, Berkshire Hathaway. To buy one share of Berkshire Hathaway, you're looking at over $300,000 to buy one share of that stock. So that's not for everybody. That's for the super rich. You've also got Tesla in this fund, Johnson & Johnson, JP Morgan Chase, and Visa. So these are the top 10 holdings in the Vanguard VTI, and all 10 of those holdings take up about 23% of the total stock. So this stock here, has inside the stock you've got large caps such as the Teslas, the Microsofts. You've got mid caps, which is the medium-sized stocks. You've got small caps, and the great thing about this Vanguard ETF is it's self-cleansing, meaning that if a company goes bankrupt, it's replaced by another company. As one goes down, one comes up, and because it's a passively invested stock, the fees is very, very cheap. You're paying 0.03% for the stock. So and that's just the fee they charge you is just to manage the stock. It's just to manage a fund. So you're not paying a fund manager, 1, 2, 3, sometimes 2.5% to manage your money, and in the end, most investors don't even beat the market. When they say the market, they're meaning the total U.S. market. So most fund managers do not consistently beat the market. They may beat it for 1, 2, maybe 3 years, but over like a 10, 20-year period, they don't beat it. So most times you're paying all these high fees for fund managers and investors and financial planners when they're not even beating the market. You'd be better off just investing your funds in just Vanguard VTI, or you got just Fidelity, total U.S. stock market. And in these funds, the returns on these funds are a lot greater than in an individual investor, professional planner, they call them, whatever. Now, if you're invested in this Vanguard VTI over a 1-year period, your return would have been 15%. 15% for 1 year is pretty good, which is the low fees, and it also pays a dividend of about 2%. So you're getting the benefit of low fees, so more money in your pocket. It pays you a dividend, which is interest on top of your shares. Again, more money in your pocket. And you're getting the benefit of the U.S. stock market going higher and higher, so you're getting price appreciation of your stock. So the 3 ways that you're making money on your stock. Putting your money in the bank right now, you're getting you 0.5% if you're lucky, not even 1% in the bank. You put $10,000 in your bank account, you're making nothing on that. You invest $10,000 in this fund back in 2010. That $10,000 would be right now would be worth $40,000. So $10,000, just if you were to put $10,000 in this VTI 10 years ago and did nothing else but leave the $10,000 in there as a savings account, You know, 10 years later, you have $40,000. You know, 10 years after that, your $40,000 would be like 160 or $200,000 after 20 years. So you're better off just if you're new to investing. You don't know, like me. I'm new to investing. I do have stocks. I do have shares, but I'm still consider a novice investor. I don't like to research stocks, and I'll research the ETFs and indexes and certain stocks that I know about. But on the whole, I don't know how to research stocks, and I don't have the time. Some people love doing the researching, the analytics, and the computers and crunch numbers. That's not me. I invest in ETFs because ETFs will give it a broad market. Like VTI has every stock. So every stock that you would invest in the U.S. stock market, it's in this fund. It has the Teslas, the Amazons, the Nintendos, the Netflix, the Zooms. Everything that's traded is in this fund. So the chance of you losing is pretty slim. The only way you can lose all your money from this index, from this ETF, is that the total U.S. stock market, every single company in the U.S. stock market would go bankrupt. That means every company in the U.S., companies from China, Europe, all around the world, because most countries in the world trade their stocks in the U.S. stock market. Chinese companies like NIO and up-and-coming EVO companies, XPeng, they're all traded in the New York Stock Exchange. So the chance of every company in the world going bankrupt are pretty slim. So that's why I invest in the Vanguard VTI. Now, after a 3-year span, if you had your money invested in the Vanguard VTI, your return would be 11%. If you had kept it in for 5 years, your return would be almost 14%. 10-year, your return is again almost 14%. And since inception, over past 20 years, your return is almost 8%. That's including the recession of 2009, the recession of 2000. So it survived 2 recessions, and still you're getting back positive returns. No bank is giving you those kind of returns guaranteed over the period of that time. So, the banking system is good and everything. We have the best banking system in Canada. But when it comes to saving your money, investing your money, unless you have millions of dollars that you can afford to pay for a top-notch investment manager, hedge fund manager, you're better off just putting your money in the total U.S. stock market. The one thing that the U.S. stock market has proven over time, that it always goes up. It may go down and dip, but when it does dip, that's good news for investors, because whenever they tell you whenever the market dips 10%, that's the market telling you to buy more. So don't get scared when it drops 10%. When it drops 10%, it's an opportunity to buy the same stock at a cheaper price. It's on sale. When things go on sale, you buy more and sit on it. So that's what I do. When things go on sale, right now they're saying there's an upcoming recession, maybe a depression. For investors like me and majority of us, that's a good sign. When prices start going down, when people get fearful, we get greedy. When people get greedy, we get fearful. Which means when everyone's buying a certain stock, that's telling you step away. Do not buy that stock. If everyone's buying that stock, step away. The only time you buy a stock or any kind of investment is when people start selling it. When they get scared and they start selling their stocks because they're scared, they're losing money, that's when you step in and you just load up on that stock. So, in the long run, like investors like me, long-term investors, in the long run, we're going to win. When we buy a stock, we buy it for like 10, 15, 20 years. That's a timeline for us. We're not buying stocks to cash in next week or next year. We're looking at 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years down the line. Even if we're not around to enjoy those benefits, our families, our kids, our wives, they will enjoy it and they'll thank us for that. In every family, in every generation, there has to be somebody who has to sacrifice to pave the way for the family coming from behind. So that's the way I look at it. So that's it for now. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and stay safe out there. We're almost through this pandemic. The vaccine is here, they say. And hopefully by next year, we're back in the clubs, partying, having a good time. Take care, everybody.